Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. 10 huge EastEnders spoilers for next week. What's coming up in Walford? Next week on EastEnders, Denise sparks a panic when she goes missing, while Johnny reels from Linda's revelation and Dean humiliates Jade. Here's a full collection of the biggest moments coming up. Denise is in a terrible state and is still having hallucinations of Keanu, which she believes are real. Stacy goes to see her to voice Amy's previous concerns, but Denise tries to brush it off. When Denise finally begins to talk about what she's seeing and hearing, Stacy recognizes the signs that she's experiencing psychosis and tries to convince Denise to see a doctor. Johnny is reeling following Linda's revelation and is consumed with guilt about not being around for her sooner. Linda tries to console her son and promises that she'll stop drinking. In turn, Johnny vows to help his mom get sober. George is finding it hard to cope with the fallout of his conversation with Gloria but isn't comfortable sharing his pain with Elaine. Instead, he leaves Cindy a voicemail to say he wishes she were there. Ricky is convinced Denise is having a breakdown when he overhears her saying strange things. Amy, on the other hand, reckons she just needs to sleep. The situation intensifies when Denise rushes out of the back door and hides in a bush. Stacy manages to get Denise inside, where Yolanda and Pastor Clayton arrive to give her some support. Stacy isn't sure this is enough and tries to convince the others that Denise needs to see a psychiatrist. They're all unaware that Denise has gone to see the only person she believes can help her now, Lucas. Ian is rattled to hear Cindy has cut her trip short and come home but hasn't been to see him. Cindy is actually with George, who needs to talk through his anguish over Gloria and Eddie's court case. Cindy reminds George she'll always be there for him when he needs her. Dean is worried when he discovers Jade has been walking around the square in the cold. Jean encourages Nugget and Ivani to befriend Jade, but Dean isn't happy when he arrives home to find Jade entertaining her new pals. Jade wants to continue hanging out with Nugget and Ivani, but Dean refuses to allow this, insisting it's too cold for her to be outside. She defies Dean anyway, and he later finds her in McClunky's with her new friends. Jade is mortified when Dean gets strict with her in front of them. At the prison, Lucas becomes worried by Denise's behavior and the things she is saying. Denise eventually arrives home in an agitated state and frightens the life out of Amy and Ricky. Denise explains she must get far away to keep them safe and grabs the car keys. Amy convinces Denise to let her go as well, and they drive off as Ricky desperately tries to reach Jack. Denise and Amy drive at high speed through a wooded area until Denise stops the car and rushes off into the night, leaving Amy alone and distraught. Stacy confides in Suki that she's been seeing Jack and he now believes his marriage to Denise is over. Suki insists that Stacy must convince him to stay with his wife and end things for all their sakes. Taking Suki's advice, Stacy tells Jack their affair is over, but the conversation is interrupted when Lucas calls to share his fears about Denise. Word soon reaches Walford that Denise is missing, and the residents start coordinating a search party. At the Vic, Chelsea and Johnny have a tense conversation about Denise. Linda also becomes rattled by Chelsea's questions and struggles to hide it. With Denise's situation the talk of the square, Suki is determined to find a way out of it, no matter what happens. She insists to Stacy that the women need to rally around Denise and look after her in shifts if that's what it takes to protect their secret.